guys, big power arms. Velo plays in the game of baseball. Also, a good assortment of breaking pitches. If these two guys are on, I think you're going to see a lot of swings and misses in this ball game.
Major League Baseball on the Show is next. Jacob deGrom is ready to go as he'll be on the mound for the Mets. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Well, Matt, if my life was on the line, Jacob deGrom would be pitching that game for me. Approaches triple digits regularly. Incorporated that four-seam fastball a couple of seasons ago. He can sink it, has a great slider, curveball, and changeup combination. I don't think there's a pitcher in the sport right now that has the tools and the weapons and knows how to use them like deGrom does.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Bryce Harper stands in as he looks at a called strike.
First pitch, 7:08.
Harper behind with an 0-2 count now.
The beauty of that sequence right there, the fastball in, now the changeup away, is where do you go as a hitter? Do you cover away? Do you cover the heater in? You can't do both. You have to pick a side of the plate and hope that's where he goes.
The next 0-2 misses, and that'll move it to 1-2 now. Expected to get a little cooler as we go on, but the temperature at game time 68 degrees. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Swung on in the dirt, strike 3. McCann gathers. The throw to first is in time, 1 down. Stepping up is JT Realmuto. First offering. Breaking ball below the zone. That's ball 1. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. deGrom has compiled over 90 innings pitched and has allowed just over 1 run per 9 innings, an ERA in the low 1s. Too tight with that one. 3-0. One out, nobody on. Three and 1.
Whew, that was some gas. Triple digits on the radar gun.
The 3-1. A swing and a miss, and that'll fill the count at 3-2.
That's just too much velocity upstairs to get good wood on it. It's going to have to lower his sights.
Fouled off. The 3-2 one more time. Keeps fighting him off. The 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And he finally wins the battle as this is swung on and missed for the 2nd out.
One thing to know is not all strikeouts are created equal. Right there, he goes down on strikes, but he really made that guy on the mound work for it. And when you're doing that in the 1st inning, it can have an effect on how deep he's going to be able to go into this start. There's a big difference between that and going down on 3 or 4 pitches.
Gene Segura standing in as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. The average sitting at 297 here to start things out. A dozen home runs to go along with 52 RBIs. The 1-0 delivery.
If you've been paying attention, the guy on the mound does not want to come inside. If I'm at the plate, I'm leaning out over.
Now the 2-0.
Nope.
Andrew McCutchen would be next if they can keep this inning alive. 2 out, nobody on. Phillies shortstop in front in the count, 3-1.
You maybe get 2 pitches a game where all the guesswork goes out the window. This is certainly that situation.
Strike 2 as the fastball is let go. Grounded down the third baseline, but this will get foul, so they'll do it again. 3-2. Now the payoff pitch home. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. 3 up, 3 down for Philadelphia. Now the Mets will step up for their first shot in a scoreless ball game. Zach Wheeler gets the ball for Philadelphia in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
This guy's one of the top strikeout pitchers in the league. Over 225 strikeouts so far on this season alone. And when he's on, you're going to see lots of swings and misses. Quality stuff, and he knows how to strike people out.
So here's Pete Alonso. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
The first baseman, Pete Alonso.
Pitch on the way. And a feeble swing that time. It's 0-1. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
The offensive game plan today is certainly to see the ball up. This guy is known on the mound for sinker changeup combination. He's going to try and establish down in the zone to get swing and a miss or ground balls consistently. You have to find something above the belt to get loose on.
Wow, he almost made a heck of a play in left.
Yeah, Matty, you can't fold the left fielder there. You'll see he makes a tremendous effort, but he just can't haul it in, and it gets past him for an extra base hit. Like the effort, though.
Into the box now, James McCann. As the first pitch here's a bit high, it's ball 1. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. The 1-0 delivery. Alonso leads off second with nobody out. High in the air down the right field line. Harper is over a few steps toward the line, and he has it for the first out. With a moment here in Flushing Meadows, let's meet the Mets. Mark, what's your take on him against one of the best starters in the game?
Matty, this lineup can't consistently find itself in the top third of the league in grounding into double plays. There has to be better and more professional at-bats when guys are on base. That is your chance to create runs for your team, and this lineup has not taken advantage of those opportunities.
And that'll bring in the switch-hitting Francisco Lindor. Ball 1 to start the at-bat. Runner at second here with 1 man out. And this one's in the dirt. And the runner will stay put, but the count moves to 2-0. Has a look, now the pitch. Fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Francisco Lindor. The 2-2. And it's fouled away. The 2-2 one more time. Doesn't get the zone. Count full now.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
Now the 3-2 pitch. It's the top of the zone. He struck him out looking.
You know, I'm not quite sure how that strikeout will be scored, looking or swinging. He tried to check his swing, but I'm pretty sure the home plate umpire was ringing him up regardless.
So here's Brandon Nimmo as he takes a fastball off the plate for a ball 1-0. And he's carrying a batting average of just over 300. So clearly he's been a productive player with the bat in his hand so far. The set and the 1-0 on the ground to third. Oh, and he can't pick it up cleanly.
Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 6.
So here's Jeff McNeil as he'll take a look at ball 1. It's a good first inning RBI spot for him. Runners at the corners and 2 gone. Throw over to the bag, and he's back easily. He pops him up toward the left side of the infield. Bohm is there, and he puts this one away for the 3rd out. So a great job there of working out a potential trouble. 2 left for the Mets. We are still scoreless. So the next hitter to dig in will be Andrew McCutchen, and he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. And a high strike to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1. Well, fans of good pitching are in for a treat today. What can we expect from today's matchup, guys?
I know everyone loves the long ball, Matty, but this is why I pay the price of a ticket right here. 2 of the game's best, 2 of the hardest throwers competing at the top of their game. Dan, you have to love this stuff.
You know, D-Row, we thought coming into this one it was going to be a low-scoring affair. Both of these pitchers look like they're locked in early, and runs are going to be really difficult to come by. They both look like they're on point so far.
Now the 1-1 pitch.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Looked like he got fooled on the speed there. 2-2.
Look at the radar gun on that slider. Off-speed pitch, 91 miles an hour. That's just pure filth.
Pitch taken several inches below the zone, in fact.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Payoff pitch one more time. Hit on the ground to third. Throw is in time for the first out of the second.
Batting fifth, the first baseman.
Okay, here's how the Mets are lining up defensively. And let's focus on Michael Conforto. He's definitely known for that sweet left-handed swing in the top of the order. But he's no slouch defensively as well, showing the ability to come in on baseballs, make diving catches, and throw guys out at the plate.
Next to bat will be Rhys Hoskins, as he'll try to hold back on the swing, but he went around for the first strike. He'll enter play here with an average just over 250, 27 homers, and 71 runs batted in. One ball and one strike to the Phillies first baseman.
Interesting sequence of pitches right there. A real ugly swing on a ball away, and it looks like the batter has a much better idea of what he's looking for after that second pitch.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Waves and misses for strike number 2.
This is why you pay the price of admission right here. Power on power. My money's on the pitcher.
And he fouls this one off.
Oh, the old classic 2-strike. Let's throw the fastball right down the middle. Not in this game. Got to believe you got to work the corners a little bit more. Fastball command is paramount at this level.
Fouled off. No score here as we play inning number 2. Fouled away. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
These are the great matchups that happen throughout the course of a game. I don't think as a pitcher you can give in right here. He's a great hitter at the plate. He knows it. You know it. Keep executing. Maybe get him to roll something over.
Not close with that one. It's way above the strike zone.
Looked like he tried to elevate a fastball on that 2-2 pitch there, but kind of overdid it. With a pitch that high, it's pretty easy to lay off if you're the hitter.
Into the windup, ready with the payoff pitch. This one's down to third. On to first, and there were 2 down.
Batting 6, the second baseman, Brad Miller.
Next, here is Brad Miller. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. First pitch on its way. That fastball was a lively one. You could hear the pop of the glove all the way up here.
Hey, I admit I'm a little biased. There's nothing better than that pop of a glove on a good fastball. Looking forward to hearing a lot more of that pop the rest of this one.
The windup and the 0-1. Skied down the left field line. Left fielder is on the move. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. Phillies down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and that'll bring forth the veteran outfielder, Michael Conforto. Now here's the first offering.
1-0.
The 1-0. And it's fouled away. Conforto behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Look out. That one almost got away from him. 2-2 now.
I think he's shown you right there he was trying to put you away with the off-speed pitch. Have to be leery of that right there and take pull side away. That'll keep you on all stuff, fastballs and the off-speed.
And he fouls this one off. Still hanging with him. Another good swing to keep it going. Another 2-2 offering. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out.
He showed right there why having a good changeup is so valuable. 2-2, and he flips one up there that the bottom really falls out at the last minute. It's so hard to pick up, and it's even harder to make good contact with.
Stepping in now, Dominic Smith. Fouled off. That batting average hovering in the high 230s. 11 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Ready with the 0-1 pitch. High in the air down the right field line. Harper is over just a few steps to his left as he takes it for out number 2.
Batting 8, the second baseman, Jonathan.
Now it'll be Jonathan Villar as he'll dig into the left-handed batter's box.
Been a struggle for him hitting from this side. And as a switch hitter, you really hope for some more consistency from both sides of the plate. But that just hasn't been the case for him batting lefty against these good right-handers.
1-0 the count. Wheeler into his motion and the pitch. And this one's too far inside, ball 2. Two balls and a strike now. Bottom of the second here with no score. There's a fastball well off the plate for a ball. Into his motion. Here comes the 3-1. Drilled right back up the middle. A diving effort here as he gets a glove on it. And no chance at a recovery here, as despite a great effort that time, they won't get an out on the play.
Nice effort by the shortstop right there. Kept it in front of him. That's all he could do right there, Dan.
You know, Dero, in a spot like that, that's an infield single. That's a tough play. Just to knock that ball down was a pretty good job. But any way you look at it, that should be scored a base hit, and I'm sure it was.
At the plate, Jacob deGrom, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. Comes set, and the 0-1. Ball 1.
34 pitches for him through an inning and 2/3 right now. That's not terrible, but it's a lot higher than he'd like.
Now the 1-1 pitch.
You know, from an offensive standpoint, they already knew they had their work cut out for him against a great pitcher. But if he's going to locate like that, this is going to be a tough day.
And the runner will get back standing. The 1-2.
He's got to find a way to grab some composure out there and not let this inning get away from him. He was dominating, and now he goes out and gives up a 2-out single and then almost drills a guy. Get back in the zone.
The 2-2 is laid off, and the count runs full.
Well, this has been a good at-bat. He's now worked the count full to 3-2. It allows the runner on first to be on the move with 2 away.
Ready to deliver the full count pitch. High in the air out to center field. Quinn finds some space out there for the catch to retire the side. Mets strand 1. Will move to the 3rd with no score. That brings up Alec Bohm. He's the number 7 hitter, but he's leading off the 3rd after the first 6 guys in the lineup have been retired in order.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the guy on the mound. It'll be interesting to see if they can find a way to get to this guy before he really settles in.
Now here's the pitch.
I love everything this pitcher's got working right now. He's got presence. He's got great body language on the mound. He's got fastball command and a nice early feel for his off-speed stuff.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. And this ball runs away for ball 2. 2-1.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch. But if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
And there's ball 3 on a breaking ball that misses away.
Hey, after those 2 breaking balls missed, you have to be sitting on a fastball right here.
And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin inning number 3.
They haven't been able to register a hit against this guy, but at least they have a base runner here. We'll see if that leads to something.
So stepping in is Roman Quinn. First chance for him here with a man on following the leadoff walk. From the stretch. Bohm on at first, nobody out. Started to go around, but it's ruled strike 1 anyway. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball.
Boy, not exactly what you'd like as a pitcher. One of the keys is to minimize your pitches, attack the strike zone early, a lot of deep counts, and working himself into a lot of trouble.
He's fallen behind now, 3-1.
He's certainly pushing the throttle and pulling it with those 4 pitches. Statistics class tells me I'm sitting fast.
Swing and a miss, and the count goes full, 3-2. And boy, that misses as well. It's back-to-back walks to start out the inning.
And that's 2 free passes in the 3rd inning alone. So you have to wonder if maybe it's something mechanical or if it's just psychological. Got to get back on track here.
Now to the plate, the pitcher, Zach Wheeler. A fairly clear sacrifice situation here with 2 on and nobody out. And he'll lay off a fastball here in a good spot, but ruled the ball 1-0.
He's already walked 2 in this inning already. This guy just can't seem to find the strike zone.
Here it comes, 1-0. Well off the plate with the change of pace. That's ball 2.
Hey, time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
The 2-0 on the way.
It's amazing how guys can lose focus sometimes when the weaker hitters come up, especially the pitchers. You got to stay on the attack and minimize pitches and get these guys out in a hurry.
Here it is, the 3-0.
I'm not going to lie, I thought he lost it right there. He had no feel for the baseball, missing wildly several balls in a row, but able to attack the zone right now. Let's see if he gets back into it.
The 3-1. Swing and a liner. That gets down, and the Phillies' first hit of the game is going to be for extra bases. And now this is thrown wildly, just getting it into the infield. And he's in safely to third as they take the lead with 2 runs scoring on the play. So problems out there in right field as this is going to wind up going as an E9. Here's Bryce Harper now as he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1.
Well, I think he's got to find a way out of this jam and limit the damage. If he's unable to do that, this game could get away from him.
2-0.
You can see this guy's more focused at the plate right now. In that first AB, he went down on strikes.
Now the 2-0.
Ball 3.
Those were two great executed pitches right there away from this batter. He can hurt you in a heartbeat. I don't think anything's going to leak out over the heart of the plate.
3-0 pitch. A swing and a miss. That's the first strike.
Hey, without question, he got him leaning out over right there. 4 pitches away, I'd be diving out over the plate as well, and then he dominates him on the inside corner. Nice pitch.
Runner at third here, nobody out. And it's up to a 3-2 full count now.
Go to that well one more time. He's been late on the first 2.
Had to wait back on the changeup, and he did a good job just to make contact. Swing and a miss, and that's a much-needed first out there. Next, it'll be JT Realmuto. They've got 2 already home in the inning and a potential third waiting in the wings only 90 feet away. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
We're only in the 3rd inning, and his pitch count is above 60. That's not being too efficient with your pitches.
Ready with the 0-1 pitch. And this misses the outside corner, so it's knotted up at 1-1. 1 out and a runner on third. 1-2 now.
1 ball, 2 strikes, down.
And this is swung on and missed. His 5th strikeout already, and there are 2 gone in the inning.
Really good late bite on that slider right there. The best ones have that late action that just darts at the last minute. They're so tough to get the bat on, and when you've got that good slider going, it's a great strikeout pitch.
And that'll bring up Gene Segura as he'll look at a changeup that drops below the knees for ball 1. 0 for 1 here in the early going. Ready with the 1-0 pitch.
Nope.
Now 2-0 with a great hitter up, a runner on third and 2 outs. This is not the spot where you want to be challenging a hitter like this. This is where you have to pitch very careful.
Has a look, now the pitch.
3-0.
This is a spot you like to be in as a good hitter. Runners in scoring position and count leverage in your favor.
A man on third with 2 down. 3-1.
Even though it's early on in this one, anytime you get runners in scoring position, you'd like to knock them in.
Popped up. VR has a play. No problem with this one, and the inning is over. So 2 runs on just 1 hit in the inning, 1 error, and 1 man left on. We'll move on to the bottom of inning number 3. Phillies lead this one 2-0. Bottom of the inning now, and here comes the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
Hey, Matty, they need to get some offense going in this one. Getting a run back in this inning, give them a little bit of confidence that they can keep up in this game.
First pitch of the AB now. The windup and the 0-1. Fouled away. Oh, and it's not often you see a guy like that flail so badly up there, but that was a great pitch for out number 1.
Pretty textbook
catcher,
pitching right there. Jump ahead in the count 0-2 and then start working outside the zone. Easier said than done, but that's the way you do it.
At the plate now, James McCann. High in the air out to center field. Quinn is there, 2 gone.
Up next for the Mets, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor.
So here's Francisco Lindor now. Wheeler sets his sights. First pitch on its way.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. And it's fouled away. And they'll try to bounce a curveball on 0-2, but he holds back. It's 1-2 now.
Well, I think that pitch is the result of a lot of foul balls. He might have tried to do a little bit too much with it, trying to get him to swing through it, but it just ended up taking off on him.
Can't find the zone there as he lays off the breaking ball.
Hey, struggling to find the release point of that curveball. That wasn't a very good one. Somehow he's just got to find that feel because that's a pitch he's going to need going forward.
And he fouls this one off. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Fouled off. The 2-2.
Hey, this guy's a hard guy to put away. He's fouling off some tough pitches. 2-2 count, and he just seems to keep hanging right in there.
Now the payoff pitch home. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. Down in order go the Mets. They trail things here 2-0. Welcome back to Flushing, Queens. Before we get back to baseball, let's check in with Heidi.
Matt, I had a chance to catch up with manager Joe Girardi during the commercial break about the Phillies offense, and flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. It's still pretty early in the game, but they've seen a lot of pitches already, and he thinks the 2 runs they've pushed across so far is just the beginning, given the quality of the at-bats they're putting together.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. All set for the start of the 4th, and that'll bring up the former National League MVP, Andrew McCutchen.
22. Andrew.
First delivery to him. Hit the other way out toward right field. Conforto is there, 1 away.
Now batting.
So with the fly out there coming on the fastball, seems like an appropriate time to check out our pitch speed comparison for these 2 starters. And fellas, if we do games together for the next decade, we might never see 2 starters in the same game throwing that hard. I mean, this has really been something. And that'll bring up the Sacramento product, Rhys Hoskins. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. Now the first pitch.
Everything this guy throws is hard. That changeup he throws is in the high 80s to go along with that good heater.
Started to go around there, but he holds up ball one.
Hey, that's not an easy pitch to hold your swing up. I know it looked like it was way off the plate. Good job not swinging at it.
Who jumped the gun a bit on that swing, and he's down 1-2.
Yeah, guys, he's got so much respect for this guy's fastball. You could tell he was out in front on that slider. I think he goes to the well one more time with that pitch.
And that's in there, base hit.
Well, that's what's so disappointing as a pitcher, D-Row. You make a really good pitch, and yet this guy's so big and so strong, he's able to muscle it into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, you hand your batting gloves to the first base coach right there, and you thank your lucky stars. That's a nice AB.
So now to the plate, Brad Miller. 1 ball, no strikes to count. A little bouncer. Hit on the ground to third. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. And he'll make it to first easily on what will almost certainly be ruled an infield single.
Now batting, the third baseman, Alec Bohm.
To the plate now, Alec Bohm, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike.
Hey, this isn't exactly the way you'd like to draw it up. Not throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but the bottom line is he's getting outs.
On its way, the 0-1 pitch. And a curveball that he didn't get on top of there. It's 1-1.
Wanted to get the front door curveball on the inside corner there, but it backed up a little and stayed off the corner.
No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Hey, lots of guys get too aggressive in a spot like this, but he's done a nice job of gaining some count leverage. Look for him to put the ball in play hard.
Off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball.
You fight so hard to get into these type of counts. You can't let this pitch get away from you. You have to keyhole something middle of the plate.
Fly ball out to straightaway right. Conforto is there. 2 down.
The center fielder, number 24, Roman.
So here is Roman Quinn. 2 men on, 2 away here in the 4th. Looking to wiggle out of this. Here it is. And he takes a cold strike. 0-1. Both clubs with 3 hits in the ballgame. Fastball laid off well below the knees. Popped him up. McCann is there, and that's the 3rd out. Phillies leave a couple as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. Ready to go in the bottom of the 4th, and ready to bat next, the Wyoming native Brandon Nimmo.
The center fielder, Brandon.
Here's the first pitch to him.
Nimmo.
There's a fastball well off the plate for a ball. Not close with the off-speed pitch taken for a ball.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far, but he's going to be tested here. 4, 5, and 6 coming up this part of the lineup.
From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Fouled away. the 2-1. It's a slider that misses below the zone.
Hey, throwing the ball great up until this point. Don't want to allow a leadoff walk. Needs to just focus in on his mechanics right here.
And it's fouled away.
You're lucky if you get one pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
And that misses for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk that starts the bottom of the 4th.
Well, they haven't been able to scratch a run across yet, so maybe this walk will jumpstart their offense a little bit.
Jeff McNeil will be the next to take a turn. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
That's the ball. 1-0.
Nimmo gets his lead at first, nobody out. And he fouls this one off.
Hey, if you're going to get a swing on a pitch that far in off the plate, pretty much options are wide open.
Working for the punch out and the offering. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, man, that's a frustrating one as a hitter. That pitcher missed right there. He did not want to hang that breaking ball with 2 strikes, and you foul it away. You have to regroup. You're not seeing that again.
In the dirt here, but it won't skip away far enough for the runner to advance. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error in the game for the Mets thus far. And a good sinker there gets him swinging for the first out.
That's just a great pitch, both on the call from the catcher and the execution. If he hits it, there's a good chance it turns into a double play ball, but it's also a spot that's going to get a lot of whiffs too. That's excellent pitching.
In now, Michael Conforto, as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Down the first baseline, but a foul ball, 1-1. Has a look, now the pitch. Fouled off. The 1-2.
Ball that close.
And this is a strike 3 called. Oh, caught a break there. 2 away.
I think we're starting to see the frustration mount from this offense. It's been a pretty dominant performance on the mound, and these hitters have had no answer for anything he's throwing up there. That will wear on you if it lasts throughout most of the game like it has here.
Next up for New York, Dominic Smith comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch coming. Here it is. Now he sends a high, deep drive toward the right field corner. Into the upper deck, but foul.
Huge swing of the bat right there, just hooking foul. Would have tied the game. I know there's still a lot of game left, but that was potentially a huge momentum swing there. Gonna have to find a way to refocus and continue this at bat.
Throw over to first, and he'll be back in standing up. 2 out with the man at first. 1-2 now as that one's fouled off. From the belt, the pitch, and he struck him out, his 7th of the ball game, and that ends the inning. Mets leave 1. They're down 2-0. New inning set to get underway, and the pitcher strides into the batter's box. Here's Zach Wheeler. The pitch. Too high that time with the inning's first pitch. It's ball 1. Some action out in the bullpen. Couple of right-handers starting to loosen up. A ball and a strike.
Look out, 1-1.
The 1-1 is swung on and missed, and that's strike 2. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Hit weakly back to the mound. And the 5th inning will start with a ground out, 1 away.
Now batting, the right fielder, Bryce Harper.
And Bryce Harper will dig in at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Well behind that fastball. It's a swinging strike.
Well, he kind of tipped his hand right there. His approach is obviously sitting on the off speed because he was so late on that first pitch heater.
A ball and a strike to the Phillies leadoff man. Two runs, 3 hits, and no errors on the ledger for the Phillies to this point. Pulled high in the air out to right field. Conforto is back in plenty of time to put this away, however, and there are 2 gone.
Now batting, catcher, JT Realmuto.
Now here's the pitch.
Count 1-0.
Hey, he's been on point from the start of this game, just pounding the zone with a high 90s fastball. It almost looks like he's gotten stronger as the game's gone on.
And he misses 2-1.
Couple of strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at bat, trying to get ahead and put himself in a good hitter's count.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Phillies catcher. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And he takes ball 3, so it's a full count now. And here in just the 5th inning, this will be pitch number 100 here.
Boy, pitch count up near 100 right now, D-Row. And this is when you try to get to a good starting pitcher. Right now, looks like he's running on fumes.
A dive, and he knocks it down. And they will still manage to get him at first. A spectacular all-around play, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for Philadelphia. But they're on top 2-0. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Watney.
Matt, during the break, I caught up with the Mets manager to discuss his thoughts on his club's offense so far. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. No, they have not scored yet, but they have been successful in running up the pitch count, something they feel will eventually pay dividends on the scoreboard as the starter gets tired and they are forced to go to the bullpen. For now, they're sticking to the plan.
Thank you, Heidi.
Leading up for the Mets, the second baseman, Jonathan.
First pitch on its way. Jonathan Villar is in for his second plate appearance as he looks at a ball that's 1-0. Fastball catches the black there for a called strike. And he takes ball 2, and it's 2-1.
Did get the call there, but you can't let that bother you. Just have to say, so what, and make another good pitch.
Unable to get the bat around in time, and the count evens at 2-2. Into the windup and the pitch. Way inside with that one. A pretty easy take there.
You can bet they'd love ball 4 here. That gives the pitcher on deck an obvious bunt situation to move the runner into scoring position.
A swing and a ground ball to third. Oh, what a stop. The throw to first. Hats off to that one.
Now back.
And here's another look at that highlight reel play with Show Track. He didn't have a lot of time to react, but he made a beautiful diving stop, and then you see the good hard throw across the diamond to record the out. Nice work. Luis Guillorme will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher. Now here's the first offering. Late on that one as it's fouled off to the left side. The average for him at 267 on the year. 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Ready with the 0-1 pitch. This one's outside, quite a bit off the plate that time. Two balls and a strike. He's fallen behind now, 3-1.
Team's been struggling on offense. Let your D work for you right here. Pound the zone.
Full count now. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Popped up. Miller over to his right. And he brings it in for the second out of the inning.
Now batting.
That's exactly what they wanted out of that pitch up in the zone. They took him up the ladder, and he couldn't get up to it. So that was an easy pop-out. Well-executed pitch there.
Up next, the power bat of Pete Alonso. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. A hit in 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. Wheeler gets the sign. Here it comes on 1-0. Two out, nobody on. Bullet back up the middle. That gets down, and the inning will continue.
Boy, D-Roll, the pitch count keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. And this is another example of they're really making this guy work in this one.
Yeah, that's the grind right here. You put your hard hat on, you try and find a way to get into that bullpen.
Into the box now, James McCann, as he lines it out to center. And that'll get down for a base hit.
2 quick outs from the 8-9 guys in the order, but the top of the order, it's a different story. A knock and then another single back-to-back, and now you got traffic with the big guys coming up.
And that'll bring in the switch-hitting Francisco Lindor as he drives a liner to right center. And that gets down as he can't get there in time. And they're not going to get him as he's in there to score.
And I can't blame the pitching coach for making that walk. That's 3 consecutive 2-out hits here, so he's going to remind this guy that they just need to make one good pitch and get this inning over with. Let's see if the talk does any good.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Brandon Nimmo. A base knock to the outfield could score the tying run from second. Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. In there, no balls and a strike.
Hey, love the confidence in that pitch right there, going right after one of the better hitters on this team, not afraid to execute.
McCann at second, Lindor at first, 2 out in the inning. Sent in the air out to straightaway central. Quinn is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Mets forced to settle for 1 here in the inning. Robert Gesellman takes over to start the 6th inning on the mound. And now, Gene Segura. He got under one and popped out his last time up.
Yeah, I don't mind him trying to drive the ball in the air, but he can't collapse the backside, and that's exactly what he did in his last at bat. Look for him to stay a little taller and keep that upper half a little bit more over him.
Hit the other way out toward right field. Conforto is there to put it away for out number 1.
The left fielder, number 22, Andrew McCutchen.
Here's Andrew McCutchen now. He's bounced out and flown out in his first 2 plate appearances. Now here it comes.
Nope.
And it looks now like a right-hander's begun to get loose in the Mets bullpen. Low-scoring game thus far, 2-1 here in the 6th. And he misses again, 2-0. Now here it comes. High in the air down the right field line. And it's a foul ball. Looked like he got fooled on the speed there, 2-2. Fouled away. And this is swung out and missed, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start the 6th inning. So the next to bat will be Rhys Hoskins. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. From the stretch, here's the pitch. This is skied out toward right. Conforto will get there, and he puts it away to retire the side. Phillies down in order. They still lead it 2-1. Leading off the inning, it'll be Jeff McNeil, and they could use a spark from him here.
Baseman, number 6.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Strike one to start the at-bat.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot. Time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
And he lays off for ball one. Now some movement out in the Phillies bullpen as a lefty and a right-hander start to loosen. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Now here it comes. Just behind the fastball there. 2 strikes now.
Hey, I'd like to see a little bit more discipline in that. You get a count in your favor. He's swinging a pitch that bad. Not good.
And it's fouled away. Left side, but well foul. The 2-2 one more time. Grounded back up the middle. Miller towards second. He's got it. And there's one away.
And this is not an easy play when you have to range to your right. He really didn't have a chance to get his feet set, so this is all arm. Nicely done.
Into the box, Michael Conforto. As he'll take a look at his strike on the outside corner, it's 0-1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. And he gets him to swing through that one. He's in control. 0-2.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on, and if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
Here comes Wheeler's 0-2.
Nope, ball one.
If I'm in the box, you take a step out right here. Take a deep breath after that high fastball. You got to be leery of him burying something in the dirt.
Here comes the 1-2. Misses, ball 2.
Well, he's thrown a lot of pitches in this one, but it's not like he's walking a bunch of guys. Only 1 free pass to this point, but they're still making him work really hard.
1 out, nobody on. Two pitch is fouled away. Weak grounder down the line at third. And there are 2 away now.
The left fielder, number 2, Dominic Smith.
Next up, Dominic Smith struck out in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one. And we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
In there at the knees, strike 1. The windup and the 0-1.
That's a ball.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. This is pulled into right. That gets down, and the inning will continue.
That base hit was screaming off the bat, and our show track technology more than confirms it. 111 miles an hour was the exit velocity of that line drive.
At the plate now, Jonathan Villar. And he's a bit tardy there on the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1.
This is where you got to take stock in the situation. Adjust your batting gloves and realize you need a gapper to score this guy from first. If nothing less, pass the baton to the guy behind you and keep the line moving.
The 0-1 pitch. And it's 1-1. And he turns this one around high and deep to center field. Going back is the center fielder. And off the batter's eye for a home run. An impressive shot to dead center field. Two-run shot to straightaway center. 19th home run for him on the season. And it's given the Mets a 3-2 lead.
Hey, I know we're not sitting up here with a crystal ball, but that swing right there, although in the middle innings, could be the deciding factor. And we could be looking back at this one when it's all said and done.
Tomas Nido will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-1. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. And here's a swing and a miss as he falls behind 0-2.
Aggressive swings out of him to start this at bat, but he hasn't been able to put the ball in play. Time to use that aggressiveness and make him chase now.
And he struck him out, his 8th punch out of the ball game, and that one ends the inning. But the Mets do strike for 2, both coming on this 2-run home run. The 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up to start the 7th, and New York's taking a 3-2 lead. Miguel Castro is on to pitch from the bullpen now to start inning number 7. Leading off the inning, it'll be Brad Miller as they'll look to spark the offense and even things up.
Brad Miller.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Castro throws what many consider to be one of the better power sinkers in the game. He throws it very hard, and you really don't have to squint to see it drop right off the table.
Hey, I've talked to a lot of guys around the league that hit off this guy, and they say it's like trying to hit a bowling ball. It's a heavy ball with heavy sink. If you make contact, it feels like you're hitting a bowling ball. This guy has one of the best sinkers in the game.
Swing and a miss on the sinker, and it's 1-2.
He's gone to the well with that pitch 3 times in a row. I'm interested to see if he changes it up right here.
The 1-2 misses for the second ball. Hit high and deep to straightaway right field. Going back is the right fielder. That one is out of here. This game is tied. A solo shot here to straightaway right field. And even 20 home runs for him now thus far. And the Phillies have pulled even now at 3-3.
Big time at bat right there. Team trailing, and he ties it up with a bomb. Interested to see how this one finishes out.
At the plate, Alec Bohm, as he'll take a look at a sinker here, too low for ball one. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. The 1-0. Grounded to first, scooped up, and that's out number 1.
The center fielder, number 24, Roman Quinn.
And stepping in, Roman Quinn. He was retired after popping out in his last at-bat. First pitch on its way. Comes set with the 0-1.
1-1.
And that one got a piece of him.
Well, he might be feeling a little bit of a sting there, but he can take comfort in knowing that he represents the go-ahead run. That could turn out to be a huge hit by pitch.
Matt Joyce will come on to pinch hit here in a big spot. Before the delivery, a check on that go-ahead run at first. And he'll get dirty, but he's back in safely. Here's the first pitch to him. And they'll start things out with a changeup here, but this is a bit too tight. It's ball 1. 1 in, 1 out, and 1 on here in the inning. The 1-0 is laid off for ball 2.
This is why I love having athleticism and speed on your team. You can tell the runner on first base is certainly messing with the mechanics of the pitcher.
Possible go-ahead runs on first, 1 away. Now a throw over. Don't want to forget about him. And another throw over, keeping particularly close tabs on him. Two and one after the foul ball there.
You can definitely tell with that foul off right there that he's picking up spin on this pitcher's off-speed stuff. Maybe expect a fastball on this next one.
The 2-1 home. Hit sharply on the ground. Reined in to second for 1. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. Like clockwork, a 4-6-3 double play to end the threat. Back with more Sunday Night Baseball following this. Connor Brogdon gets the call from the pen to take the ball for the home seventh. Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Pete Alonso. He'll try and get something started in the home half of the seventh.
Alonso.
He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch.
Nope.
Turn gone, but that's ripped foul down the third baseline.
He's going to be thinking about that pitch all night if he doesn't have a big game right here. Pulled his front shoulder and everything went with it.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Easy take there as the off-speed pitch misses well inside.
Tough to take a pitch like that right there, especially in a 1-2 count. You almost get in that auto swing mode. Great job to work the count back to even.
This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Quinn will slide over and put this one away, and that's out number one.
Now batting, the catcher, James McCann.
Next up is James McCann. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. First pitch on its way. In there, and it's 0-1. Didn't quite catch the zone there. Ball one. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. And they'll go off speed here as this pitch misses. It's 2-1. And now a pitch on the way. Count even at 2-2.
It's going to be back to some serious tee work if he can't put that pitch in play right in his wheelhouse.
And a full count for James McCann. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Every base runner in a close game like this really matters, so you can't afford to be giving out free passes this late.
And he lays off. Ball 4. Now the potential go-ahead run is on base here.
Now batting, shortstop, Francisco.
So a runner at first now with 1 away, and with it comes Francisco Lindor to the plate. He's set, and the pitch. Possible go-ahead runs on first, 1 away. Gets him to swing at a pitch down and out of the zone. 1-2.
Hey, you know the pitcher right now, he's looking for that best friend, that double play ball. This is where you have to really be disciplined at the plate and make sure that you get a pitch that's above the knees that you can get in the air.
Still 1-2. Working for the punch out and the offering. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His 3rd punch out of the game.
That was a big strikeout there, guys. The best pitchers have the ability to strike guys out when they really need to. And that second out was really important at this point of the game. Could be something we look back on later when the game's over.
And here's the former first-round draft choice, Brandon Nimmo, as he'll take a look at ball one. A ball and a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Looked like that one tied him up a bit. A swing and a miss. Nimmo with an even count of 2-2 now. 2 out with the possible go-ahead run at first. In the dirt, and now let's see. In time as he just gets the tag down. Mets go down quickly. No change in the score. It's 3-3. Jacob Barnes has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th. Ready to begin the 8th, and coming forward, the veteran outfielder, Bryce Harper.
The right fielder, number 3, Bryce Harper.
He's set. Here it comes. Fastball well outside. The 1-0 is an off-speed pitch taken for a ball.
Non-competitive pitch right there, runs the count to 2-0, and he is ready to do some damage in the box.
Now here it comes.
I'm seeing him just a little too amped up out there right now. That's common with hard throwers like him. Running a blazing fastball up there is great, but if you can't harness it, what good does it do you?
Three and 1.
He must know something we don't know. That was a center cut heater with count leverage in a big spot. I don't understand why he's taking.
He's set. Here's the 3-1. Right side, but it's well foul. Now the 3-2 pitch. And he lays off. Ball 4. Now the potential go-ahead run is on base here.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving one up where he can really hurt you.
Next to stand in is JT Realmuto. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. First pitch of the AB on its way. Swung on, and this ball is absolutely crushed. Forget about it. Gone! And that 2-run home run delivers an 8th inning lead. So a 2-run homer down the line in left, and it's now 5-3.
What a great piece of clutch hitting right there to give his boys the lead. Going to put a lot of pressure on the opposition to have to score with only 6 outs to go.
So now to the plate, Gene Segura hit back up the middle. A dive, but he can't get a glove on it. It's through for a base hit.
There's a hard hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dan. Sent it back right where it came from.
In now, Andrew McCutchen, as he'll take a called strike here on a borderline pitch at strike 1. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. The 0-1.
0-1.
Change up just off the black, and it's 2-1.
Somebody's getting frustrated. He's not used to getting hit around like this.
Segura aboard here at first with nobody out. And he fouls this one off. Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first out. Got him with a good high fastball there. Danny, we see a lot of that pitch in strikeout situations these days. What makes it so effective?
I think, Matt, what makes it such a tough pitch is you're changing eye levels. That fastball up looks so enticing to hit that you think you see that ball as a hitter. You think you can drive it, but it's really hard to get on top of that good high hard fastball.
Standing in now, Rhys Hoskins, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. Still only 1 out in the inning. Set up away with the changeup, but it's 1-1.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
Now a throw over to first and a dive, but he's back in there. The 1-1 is strike 2 swinging.
1-2.
Segura runs. Got him swinging. The throw. And he'll be tagged out at second base. Trying to get into scoring position, but instead the inning is over. Trying to move into scoring position with 2 away, but not to be as we get another look. We've got more on this Sunday night after this. Jose Alvarado was on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th. So now to the plate, Brandon Nimmo, 1 for 2 on his line so far in the game.
Brandon Nimmo.
He's ready. Here's the first pitch. And that misses, ball 1. And now action in the bullpen as their closer starts to get loose out there. The 1-0 home. A bouncer up the middle. Segura fields it cleanly. On to first. And a sigh of relief in that visitor's dugout as that's a big man to retire to start out the home 8th. Still anyone's ball game. 5-3 is our score as we take a look now at the starter comparison to see how these two guys fared in the matchup. Now to bat, Jeff McNeil. He grounded out last time up. first pitch on its way. And that's in there for strike one.
Hey, I don't blame him for giving up on that curveball. That was a rainbow coming out of the sky. Stole a strike.
And he falls behind 0-2. Not a bad pitch there with 2 strikes, but it misses 1-2. Misses, ball 2. And good patience to hold back on the curveball in the dirt. It's full now, 3-2.
Wow, from 0-2 to 3-2, and that last pitch on 2-2 wasn't even close. He had this guy in the ropes, but now he let him right back into this at bat.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. Fouled off. The next 3-2. Hard hit ball to short. And a base hit as that's into left, and they've got themselves a base runner.
Boy, talking about making a pitcher work, D'Lo. 8-pitch at bat finally leads off to a base hit.
I got to be honest with you. After the 7th pitch, you start to get in auto swing mode. He could have thrown the rosin bag, and he would have took a hack at it. So hats off to him, not only battling for 8 pitches, but getting a result.
Now here's the first offering. Michael Conforto comes on with 1 away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0.
These are the moments that don't always show up on the highlight film right here. Big spot. They have a chance right here. This guy mixes in a knock. They have a chance to get right back in this game. If not, if he grounds into a double play, it's pretty much over.
Line drive. That's a base hit into the right center field gap. And they'll have runners at second and third following the 1-out double.
Everyone knows that this guy's numbers are not where he wants them to be so far this year, but you never know by that swing. He looked fluid and confident driving that pitch for a double. We'll see if that gets him going a bit.
Stepping in now, Dominic Smith, as he'll go after a hard sinker that time and falls behind 0-1. In the dirt and blocked behind the plate. Good job to get to that quickly, though, and the count will even at 1. McNeil, the runner at third. Conforto is over at second with 1 down in the inning. That nibbled the corner there, but missed. 2-1. Three and 1 to the Mets left fielder.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
The 3-1. And he lost him here on 3-2 as that pitch misses. It's ball 4.
Well, tough to say if that was their intention or not, but it's not the worst thing that can happen. A force at every base now, so there are a lot of ways to get out of this.
Albert Almora will come on now and pinch run here. And now here is Jonathan Villar trying here to plate the tying run from second.
Boy, this guy right here in that last AB, how about straightaway center field? He hits a bomb, and as a pitcher, you're trying to pitch to the big part of the ballpark, but a guy like this, if he has pop to hit it out to center field, I might have to think pitching this guy down and away down on the corner.
Too low, 1-0.
This is a situation where you have to step out of the box and tell yourself, my job is to get the runner in from third. It'd be nice to gap one and get them both in, but you want to take a little pressure off you offensively and just focus on being productive.
The 1-1. And this is swung on and missed. A huge out there as the bases will stay loaded with 2 away now.
Yeah, as they say, there's a hole in his swing in that location, so a good job there of exploiting that. That can be real hard for some guys to overcome when teams start figuring out what locations you just can't handle.
Sam Coonrod answers the call to pitch here in a big spot. He inherits a bases loaded jam but needs just 1 out to get out of it. Kevin Pillar will be called on as a pinch hitter here in a big spot. He'll have the bases loaded with 2 out in the inning. From the stretch, he'll enter play with that batting average still shy of the 220 mark. 13 home runs and 42 runs batted in. That evens it up 1-1. There's a foul ball off to the right side, and that'll move the count to 1-2. Big spot, 2 out, possible tying and go-ahead runs on base. Another one sent foul.
That's the heavy sinker right there. He has the ability to get ground balls when he needs them, potential double play situations, or to get that jam job with no one on base, that tapper right back to the pitcher. One of the toughest pitches to hit in the game.
The 2-2 pitch. And he strikes him out. So a missed opportunity at the plate as he strands 3 runners and the side is retired. Mets leave them loaded. Still a 2-run deficit. It's 5-3. Albert Almora will stay in the ballgame now and take over in left field. Jeurys Familia enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. All set to start the 9th in this one, and set to go is the second baseman, Brad Miller. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Off we go in the 9th as the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Man, that's one of those. How could you not swing at that one? A good take there on that pitch.
Looked like a slider perhaps, but it missed badly, and it's 2-0. Now the pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
We're going to see him throw that hard fastball early and often.
The 2-1 home. Takes a pass and misses. That's strike 2.
In my opinion, one of the toughest pitches in the game to square up. Just a heavy sinker with good downward action.
The 2-2 is taken below the zone for a ball. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there for the first out here in the ninth. Next, it'll be Alec Bohm, grounded out in his last at bat. From the stretch, here's the pitch.
1-0.
Too high, 1-0. Right-hander starts to loosen out in the bullpen now. And this ball's pretty well struck high and deep to left field. And that ball will stay fair, and it's gone. A home run. So a solo shot down the line in left. 8th home run on the season for him, and it's now 6-3.
They still have the bottom of the ninth to try and stage a comeback, but one thing that's not coming back is this blast to extend the lead to 3. Nice knowing you've got some room for error, especially on the road.
The center fielder, number 24.
To the plate now, Roman Quinn, batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike one. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And boy, this at-bat is not starting off well as he's behind 0-2 now. And he goes up the ladder on him, but he lays off 1-2.
He wasn't even close to swinging right there. That was a stone-cold take.
Grounded to short. Fielded cleanly. Throw on to first. 2 gone.
The pitcher, number 52, Sam.
Didi Gregorius will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher. First pitch on its way. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1. 1-0. He'll check in with an average still south of 230. 11 home runs and 48 driven in. This ball will be chopped foul. 2 out, nobody on. Fouled away. Looking for the strikeout. Here's the 1-2. And he struck him out. So a good pitch there, and now they're going to need to string some hits together in this last at-bat if they want to get back in this thing. Brandon Alessio comes on looking for a save here in the bottom of the 9th inning. All set for the bottom of the 9th. And next to bat will be the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
Hey, it's never easy scoring runs against a closer, but this lineup is setting up perfectly right now as the leadoff hitter leads off this inning.
And he takes ball 1. 1-1 to the Mets leadoff hitter.
That was a great hack right there. Timing was on point. Just sometimes you have bad bat barrel accuracy.
And a check swing here as he couldn't help himself, and it's ruled strike 2. Swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. 1 away. And with strike 3 recorded there, he's notched his first career major league strikeout.
Well, Matt, if he can become a consistent strikeout pitcher, you have to figure his career is going to end up being a solid one. All the best pitchers at this level have at least one pitch that they can go into in tough situations. So we'll see if he becomes one of those guys as his career goes along.
Into the box, James McCann, as he lays off a fastball too low for ball 1. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. The 1-0.
Ball that time.
The last thing you want to do when you've got a 3-run lead in the 9th is give the other guys any sense of hope. It's a good time to challenge here on 2-0, especially since there's a good chance he's taking until he gets a strike.
Back up the middle and into center field as he's aboard with a 1-out single.
Hey, guys, he's lucky he's getting this baseball back. He hung that middle of the plate. The batter's eyes lit up, and he was able to put good wood on it.
Lindor.
At the plate now, Francisco Lindor, as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1 for 4 day. Now the 1-0 is looked at for the first strike. Started to chase there. They'll appeal it down to third, and no swing. It's ball 2. Hit on the ground to third. He's got it. One there. On to first, and he rolls the double play ball to end it here as this ball game is over.
Man, they've already put the all-time winning streak record in their rearview mirrors. But with every win, it gets further and further away. We could say this now. This is one of the greatest teams in the history of baseball.
And tonight's comes to an end. 6-3 the final. The Philadelphia Phillies came through late, taking the lead in the 8th to secure the victory. Connor Brogdon gets the win in relief, his 6th of the season. Brandon Alessio hammers down the save, his first of the year. So that